beautiful butterflies. Hello, and welcome. I hope you're all doing well and feeling good, and you're excited to step into 2026 with me and Mr. Twig here. And today I thought, on that note, that we would talk a little bit about why I'm deepening my practice with Hecate during 2026. So today my energy feels really reflective, very tired. I'm struggling with my fatigue at the moment, and I kind of feel like I want to think a bit deeper about my relationship with Hecate and why I feel drawn to her so deeply. I think today's going to be a bit of a reflective one, so make sure you're comfy. You maybe have a fairy creature upon thy lap and a comfy blanket. Let's do this. So I've recently noticed Hecate very much more coming into my mind. I very much more feel a nudge from her, a pull from her, than I do my other two gods that I work with, Archangel Michael and Diana. And I know this can be something that happens quite regularly, that people will work with a god or goddess and then they'll like step back because they were there for a particular season or a part of your life or to help teach you something, and then as you move forward in your practice you move on to somebody else. And I never thought that would happen to me. I've really enjoyed getting to know Diana. I've really enjoyed and loved working with Archangel Michael. They've both really helped me become more brave and to really feel more at home in my own practice and in my own home, especially since we moved back into my childhood home. It brought up a lot of trauma, a lot of memories, a lot of things, shall we say, but I definitely lent on them a lot. As I've found this year though, that Hecate really comes up a lot more with me within my practice. There's a lot more books, a lot more information about her that is easy to find, and I also find myself really drawn to her energy in ways that one of my favourite YouTubers, That Divination Witch, talks a lot about how Hecate is everything, like all the things, it's just Hecate, like whatever god or goddess or whatever energy or anything, like it's just Hecate, it's all just Hecate. And since hearing that so much, I've started to notice how there's so much that's reflected within her. And I also recently bought a oracle deck. I'll leave a link to it down below and put a picture of it up here. But this oracle deck has like all the different sides of Hecate as the card pulls, and each day I'm learning a little bit more or a little bit about her that I didn't know, and a lot of these things are really speaking to things that I thought I was going to Archangel Michael for or Diana for, but was I really just going to Hecate? Is it all just Hecate? I don't know, it's really difficult, but I definitely feel her presence a lot more than the others, which makes me kind of sad in a way, but I definitely want to strengthen that in a very natural way. I don't want to force her into every step of my practice or to force myself to just suddenly be only Hecate. This has been a decision that I've made to really lean into the relationship that I already have with her and to deepen that. And I think I've noticed, I should say, that a lot of other Hecatean witches, when I'm watching their videos or reading their blog posts, speak very similarly, that they have this kind of moment where they're just like, well, I can get all of this from Hecate. I understand that now. I never did before. I don't know. If you're a Hecatean witch, please let me know down in the comments if you feel that way, or if you ever went through that kind of thing, or if you still work with other gods and goddesses alongside her. The thing that I definitely want to say is this is not because Hecate's trendy and Hecate's popular. I think maybe she's popular because of the strength that she can bring to so many people, and she's got so many different sides to her, hence, you know, the three-sided image that we have of her with these different faces and different hands, showing that she can turn her hand to anything, and she shows herself in so many different ways to different people. It just really inspires me to think that she can do so much for so many different people, and that is why she's so popular. I don't know, am I right? Let me know. 2026 definitely feels like the year to deepen this relationship with her. It feels right for me now. I feel a lot more confident in my witchcraft practice and in who I am, like as a human being. Finally, in my mid to late 40s, I'm finding myself feeling so much more inspired by who I am, not looking to anybody else to inspire me or to make me want to be anything but myself. I've never had that before. I've never felt that way before. I've never had the confidence to be like, what do I want to do? I've always kind of copied other people, even back when, back in the day when you were choosing like what subjects you want to study at school. I just copied like my friends. I just did what they were doing because I didn't know what I wanted to be. I didn't know who I was. And I feel now I'm so much more grounded in who I am. I'm so much more sure of myself. My practice is much more guided by my own thoughts and feelings rather than what everybody else is saying. I kind of don't want to keep changing and stepping into new practices, like I was talking about in last week's video when I was talking about, what general witchcraft practices I want to focus on this year. I definitely took things that I was already doing and just decided, I'm just going to concentrate on them. And I think that's why now I feel myself concentrating down a bit more to Hecate, because I don't want to be spread thinly. I don't want to be diluting, thank you husband, I don't want to be diluting my witchcraft and who I am. And my time is very short because of my chronic illnesses, my chronic fatigue, my pain levels. I have much less usable hours than most people have, and because of that I just want to really concentrate my time and energy where I'm being drawn, and to me that is towards Hecate. I don't know it just kind of feel like I've been spread so thinly for so long that I kind of just want to concentrate everything down and make it so that my craft works alongside me rather than me trying to shoehorn in my craft, because that's how it's felt for a long time now, especially since I moved in with my mom. It's been very difficult to have the time and the energy on top of looking after mom, looking after myself, having the YouTube, having my blog, having everything. It's so hard to have enough energy to give enough time to really put my energy where it should be. For me, working with Hecate is very much about opening doors, that key energy of opening up and being guided through to a new beginning. And that's how 2026 has felt. I spoke last week about how excited I am, and I do feel excited just thinking about trusting my intuition and trusting where I should be going and planting my feet down and walking ahead, walking alongside or behind this incredible goddess that is guiding me and moving me to follow the cycles of the year, the cycles of my life, and to really just follow her path rather than trying to be more productive or do more or force myself into spaces and places and things that aren't me. And I think as younger witches and younger women, brains tend to make us follow other people a lot. And I don't want to do that anymore, and I don't want to just practice things because everyone else is doing it. And I know that kind of like, oh, you're going to be a Hecatean witch, and it's like, well, yeah, I am, but also it's not just about Hecate, it's about flowing with where the cycles of my life are taking me, and it definitely feels like it's taking me to a better place on my path. And you hear people talking about jumping timelines or flowing better, and that's what I want to do this year. I really want to flow. My life needs to flow better, and I think by following her lead I can really do that this year. It's all about living in rhythm with my body, right? As a disabled witch, I need to remember that I'm disabled. I need to remember that my energy is limited, and I need to really honour where I am health-wise where I am mentally, like what I'm able to do. And for a long time I've found myself really struggling to follow three gods and do work with my ancestors and do this and do that, and I felt very stretched thin. I think that's society, just pushing me. It always does. It's taught us from an early time to really push, work, be the best, do what you can. I don't want to live like that. I really don't. I want to live a slower, happier life, and I think by doing this and flowing with my energy and where I am in my life, I can have a much better life and get a lot more out of this lifetime as Beverly if I stop trying to flow the way society is trying to make me flow, if that makes sense. I also really want to deepen my time with my ancestors and do a lot more work with them. I think as I feel called to deepen my time with my ancestors, and Hecate is the goddess of the underworld. She holds the key to the underworld. She has so much there that she can do to facilitate in this want and call to work deeper with my ancestors. And I think sometimes we need to really listen to what's calling us and listen to our intuition, but also listen to the spirits and the guides that are calling to us the loudest. And for me, it's been my ancestors for many years now, and I have a lot of videos here on the channel about ancestor work, so I will leave a link down below, and if you would like me to talk even more about ancestor work, just let me know. It can be done. I really see Hecate as being like a bridge that is between me and my ancestors, me and the underworld, and she can really help me to deepen that connection and help me to deepen my psychic abilities and work on this so that I can really get the most that I can out of my time as Beverly, you know. My curiosity and my intention this year, and that is my word of the year this year, is intention. My intention this year is to really follow my intention, my curiosity, my intuition as it tries to lead me forwards. And I think that's enough. It's enough to be like, do you know what, this is just what I'm being called to right now, and so this is what's going to happen. It's scary, but it has to be done sometimes, and you know what, it's okay. It's okay to kind of take that time, because working with our ancestors feels so intuitive. We've done it for so many generations, for so many hundreds of years, and it's less about looking backwards, it's more about learning from their experiences on earth, and I don't know, just being held by something older and spirits that can really help and keep us moving forwards. That's what it's all about for me. This year is going to feel a lot more devoted. There's going to be more devotion, more listening, more presence. It's going to be less about rules and rigid time and more about flowing with where I need to be. I think living with more intention is going to really benefit me in the long run, and it's also going to help me to not feel this pressure to be, you know, aesthetic and to copy other people and to try and be something I'm not. It's all about not being perfect. It's all about going where I need to go. And I think quite often devotion doesn't have to be about rigid rules. It doesn't have to be about high magic or ceremonial magic, 'cause that's certainly not what I practice, and it's not what I think most disabled witches can and do practice. I just want to have a deep relationship with Hecate, with my ancestors, and to walk this path in a very genuine way. That's it. That's the end of the video. No, not really. I think sometimes we can feel this kind of pressure to do things in a certain way, but this year I really don't want to do that. I want to be devoted and to really listen. If you're a Hecatean witch, share with me down below what your path is, because it's going to be different to mine. And that's what I love about Hecate. I think she calls us to be more genuinely ourselves. And I'm really excited this year just to find my own personal gnosis and to really walk with a lot more personal integrity. And you're going to see a lot more of that here on the channel as well. So I hope you're excited to see that. This year is a threshold that I want to cross, but it's one that I'm going to do slowly, and it's not something that I'm rushing into or rushing through. And I hope that you'll stick around for this journey. So if you enjoyed this video, if you're enjoying my path and sharing along with me, or you want to share along with me, don't forget you can leave this video a cheeky like, comment, subscribe, hype it up if you can. All these things are free and they're really magical because they help me to know, and the YouTuberverse to know, that you enjoyed the video, and it'll share it out just that bit more. Take care everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful, magical day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!